we are going to talk about Pixel Watch. Something we've definitely never said on this podcast before. Just kidding, probably like 30 different times. But it seems like, would you say this is the closest we've gotten to seeing a Pixel Watch?
Yeah, I mean, we saw what is allegedly an actual Pixel Watch in the wild. And this thing has been rumored for as long as I can remember.
Probably since I started working here.
I mean, I am pretty sure that after the Apple Watch came out, everyone probably started talking about the Pixel Watch. But it's been years now since the first renders started leaking. And like there were rumors it was going to ship with the Pixel 6 and then it didn't. And now there are rumors that it might ship with Pixel 7, but we might see rumors of it we might see like a intro to it at I.O.
Okay. That would be interesting. So was that I.O. last year where they talked about like the partnership with Tizen? Is that what the like Samsung stuff?
Think
it was where they were like outside and it was eerily quiet because of COVID. Yeah,
because they also shut down the air traffic over Mountain View.
That was definitely when they talked about their partnership. So that was kind of, to me, that made it feel like maybe I should stop thinking about Pixel Watch because it made it seem like they gave up and they're just like, let's work with Samsung instead.
Yeah. I mean, the funny thing is like Tizen is quote unquote dead, but they sort of made Tizen into Wear OS. Okay. And Tizen was a lot better optimized than Wear OS. Like Wear OS generally was just kind of laggy, but so it looks like Wear OS, but it has like a lot of Tizen features. Okay. Anyway, Wear OS is very different now than it used to be.
Yeah. But like you said, we saw one, sort of, or we think we saw one. It's kind of the classic, the old iPhone left at a bar. Yeah. It's literally left at a bar.
There's this wacky story that happened where this guy basically left a Pixel Watch prototype at a restaurant. So the story goes that this guy's friend works at the restaurant and he found the Pixel Watch and he apparently held on to it for a couple of weeks, but nobody came back to claim it.
Yeah.
So then he gave it to his friend, who is apparently like self-proclaimed tech nerd. I think that's what he called himself online. And then he posted about it on Reddit.
And it got pretty big.
It got pretty big.
And then obviously there's a million articles about it because wearables are hot. And especially Pixel Watch.
He posted a bunch of photos of his like wrist with it on and all these things. And I think the craziest part about it is that it looks pretty much like all of the renders that we have been seeing for literally years.
Yeah, it does look very similar to some of them. Some of the most recent renders we've seen since Google acquired Fitbit had that very like Fitbit rounded, like really domed rounded edge on it. I think it looks so much like the Louis Vuitton smartwatch that we have.
It
like
does.
The Louis Vuitton watch, it's like super domed and they actually do a kind of cool thing where it like bleeds to the edges and you can see it from the sides. But isn't there a picture like of the bezels on this new one?
There's a thick bezel on this thing.
So I don't think it's going to do that.
Yeah. There were some leaked renders that may or may not be real. Again, like everything that's leaked is speculation.
Yeah.
But some photos from like a PowerPoint presentation that said like almost bezel-less design. But then you look at the photos that the guy took photos of and very not bezel-less.
Yeah. And so
very not bezel. It might be a touch sensitive ring though.
Like ring on the outside. That would be really cool. Have we seen that?
I think the Galaxy Watch 4 non-classic has a digital ring.
Okay. That's really cool.
Could be wrong. I think so.
We'll double check that. Yeah. But so, okay, he found it at a bar.
Yeah.
Gave it to this guy.
Yeah.
It does not turn on, correct?
So he tried to boot it and it shows a Google logo.
Yeah.
And that's why it's pretty much like, oh, this is like a Pixel Watch prototype.
Okay.
And there's also like pins on the side that probably will not be in the final design. So it's almost definitely like a internal version. And it had a box too. And the box was like, this product has not been certified with the FCC and like all of this
Someone
stuff.
left the box at the bar?
Yeah.
I did not.
It was like with the whole thing. And on Reddit, everyone was like, this is definitely a planned leak. And I don't know.
So I don't think so, but I definitely, there's a storyline I could see where this would be planned. And my biggest speculation there is how he posted it and then he's like, oh yeah, my friend forgot to give me the bands to it. And then made a whole second post of it like then on his wrist.
Yeah. I mean, I think this guy is telling the truth.
I think it's legit also.
Yeah. Whether or not somebody like intentionally left it at a bar and then didn't come back for it. Like if you leave something like that at a bar, you should probably be looking for it.
Yeah. Why bring it in the first place?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
you
that's
should
a big
probably be
thing.
checking
Leave
for
it
it
in
all
your
the
car.
time.
Don't bring it in a
Yeah,
restaurant.
yeah.
Why would you bring it in a restaurant? It's so strange.
There's minor skeptical in there, but
anyway,
whatever.
yeah, he tried to boot it. It showed the Google logo and wouldn't get past that. So people are thinking that it doesn't even have an OS on it right now.
Okay.
But then it died, and there was no charger with it, so he had no way to like recharge it to try to get to the logo again and all that stuff. But yeah, like his friend did have separate bands that were in another box that were in a separate box, and it looks like it's a proprietary band system, just like the Apple Watch.
Okay.
Which is like good and bad. I don't know how much support for bands Google is going to have. That's sort of the thing with the Apple Watch is that like they release new bands all the time.
Yeah. And they're great.
I hope the third-party ecosystem of bands would get good on the Pixel Watch, because the Apple Watch third-party bands, there's so many. People make them on Etsy.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they're all really good, and you can get really good ones for really cheap.
Yeah.
So
we've talked about it before. I was using a braided loop from Etsy, and it's fantastic. Where, funny enough, I got a different band for the Garmin watch I'm wearing right now. That was third party from Etsy.
Oh.
And I was like reaching down to tie my shoe, and this right now is the normal one. It just fell off because Garmin has these little connector pins that I don't think are great.
Oh.
And when you're third party making that, it just bent and just pulled the whole band off.
Dang.
So yeah, I was thinking that like third party bands are awesome. There's a million of them. But when you're Apple and you have that sales number, they can like way more people are going to make those, and you can find better ones where then you're looking for third party. And for whatever reason, every first party band feels like it costs an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
It hurts to buy, like spend $80 on it.
Dude, they're so expensive.
It's crazy.
And the nice Apple Watch ones are $100.
Yeah.
For like, and you can get almost this exact same quality on Amazon or like on Etsy for like $20.
And it's really a bummer.
$7.
It's great to do that because like you're wearing a watch all the time, switch it up every once in a while,
totally
have different ones. Exactly. That's like the fun thing. It's also great gift. If you have a friend with an Apple Watch band is like one of the best easy gifts you can give to someone.
Yeah, I think people have been wanting a Pixel Watch for so long because the Apple Watch has been so dominant. There have not been like a ton of great Android Wear OS smartwatches. The Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 is definitely pretty good and probably up there for like one of the best alternatives if you want a Wear OS watch. So considering Google partnered so intensely with Samsung on the new Wear OS and then apparently on this Pixel Watch, that's going to be a big deal. The rumors are actually that it's going to be running an Exynos chipset.
Okay.
Which is good news in my opinion, because most of the Snapdragon Wear chipsets in the Snapdragon ones just have terrible battery life, bad like performance. They've never been great. They went a super long time between the first generation and the second generation chip. And then the second generation chip wasn't that much better. And it was just like, it was such a mess. But considering the Galaxy Watch 4 has pretty darn good performance and decent battery life, it lasts a little over a day. I mean, it would be nice if it was better.
Quick question there. What would you say is an ideal watch battery life?
I mean, ideal for a smartwatch, I would love at least 2 days. But the Apple Watch right now is like a day and a quarter. Yeah. And I think that's about what the Galaxy Watch 4 is as well.
Okay. I like go back and forth on what I think is good. So I've been trying this Garmin for a month.
I mean, those last forever.
It's insane. Like working out in 1 week, or I had an 8-day battery life on this for a week. And that's with like 4 or 5 of those days with at least an hour of working out and tracking, which I thought was incredible.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's too clunky. I don't wear it to bed. So like, why do I care that much? So it's nice. 2 days feels like perfect to me. You can forget a night of charging it and be okay.
You know what's always been weird for me is the Apple Watch, like it has all these sleep tracking features, but I would never wear it to sleep
I'm
because I need to charge it at nighttime because it's almost dead by the evening.
True. I also, and I don't know if this is only me, if you put your arm under your pillow and you're wearing a watch like ever, I hate it. It'll like wake me up because it gets stuck on the pillow, like sliding your arm under it. So that's why I feel like I can't. That. I didn't like my Apple Watch
like
when
you're
sleeping.
Typing with a ring on or a watch on or something. Yeah,
weird.
But I think everyone's just been like really wanting Google to have parity, like ecosystem parity with Apple. And there's the Pixel Buds, but they're pretty buggy. There's no Pixel Watch, and they have Chromebooks. So like right now they don't really have device parity. But if they can get a watch out, hopefully they'll get closer. It's just that Apple's had almost 8 generations to improve before Google even released one.
For sure.
So,
I mean, it was the big talking point also with Google doing its own chip in the Pixel this year, which was like, you know, everyone always says Apple's got their ecosystem because they're making their own stuff. So now Google's making it. Are we going to get there? So it tracks onto there. You know, you did say they do have their Chromebooks, and there is some minor connectivity. Like,
there's minor connectivity.
So hopefully Pixel Buds could get better. But Pixel Watch feels like the big like device. That
and wearables are
between
really
it.
hot.
They
so
are.
yeah, but I think a lot of people, the reason a lot of people say they're staying on iPhone is like iMessage and the Apple Watch. Like so many people get attached to the Apple Watch because it gamifies fitness in such a good way.
Yep.
So apparently there was a reference to the Pixel Watch in a recent Pixel update that 9to5 Google found. It is codenamed Rohan, which could mean a couple of different things. One, it is the fictional kingdom of men in Middle Earth.
Okay.
In Tolkien's world. Interesting. And then it is also in Japanese, it means accompanying dew. These are just things I found on Wikipedia. And so I was like, there's multiple like possibilities of what it could mean, but these are the only 2 things that sound feasible.
And how?
Accompanying dew would be like, oh, it comes with you and it's sticky, so it like sticks to you. Like it's accompanying your. I don't know. This is like
I like it.
I don't know. I'm like totally guessing.
I mean, you're talking about a bunch of like software developers and stuff that make some crazy code names.
Yeah,
so
they
that
make really fun
I wouldn't be
code names.
surprised.
Like all the pixels are always like Marlin and like they're all fish. Shamu,
yeah, they are a lot of fish.
Shamu, yeah. But otherwise, Rohan, Lord of the Rings. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, they might be showing it off at I/O and then releasing it with the Pixel 7. That's like the current rumor. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but considering they like already had a hardware unit in the wild, it's probably pretty close to the release.
I think that sounds totally plausible, especially with talking about watch stuff last Google I/O, and then we're Google I/O's 2 months away.
Coming up May. Pretty quick. It's actually May? Really soon.
Okay,
I think it's in a couple weeks.
So we might see it pretty soon then.
Yeah. So that'd be dope if we saw it soon.
Okay. Ideal pick. What right now in this new Pixel Watch, what would be like a key feature that would make you super excited for it? And like we are also, you know, this has been rumored for so long. It will never live up to the hype, right? I think we can agree with that. We've been talking about this for how long?
I think that's most Pixels, to be honest. Like this year, it's gonna be the year.
But you have
the best.
You
Pixel.
have 5 years of nothing, pretty much. Of like
first generation, everything is so clunky though.
It's gonna be tough. But like what's something that would look really promising on this to you?
They need to match Apple in terms of like the fitness stuff. That I think that's going to be what keeps people in it.
And with Google Fit already,
and
they've got a head start on
Google
that.
has done a pretty good job of making their fitness stuff more robust. Like they had this whole campaign like Get Fit with Google either last year or the year before. I think it was 2020 actually.
I think it was too, yeah.
And they revamped Google Fit and it's nicer now. I don't think they have they might have team stuff.
I don't know. There are a few because I'm using a weird thing right now. Or Google Fit works in the Challenges app that we use. Yeah. We have found it's a little clunky, but that's Challenges. That's not Google Fit. But there are a lot of ways to connect things to Google Fit, which is kind of awesome.
I think that they're going to need ways to compete against your friends, and if they added group competitions,
take one step up.
That would be one step up
Watch.
on Apple. So and maybe force Apple to add it. But yeah, I don't know. The design right now is, I know a lot of people like round smartwatches, so that's good. But that bezel is very thick.
It looks thick. It looks tall, which is usually a gripe of mine on watches. I like it thin. I don't like it to be huge and clunky. I think watch
Adam's
bands
screaming internally because he has like the tallest watch ever right now.
His is a cool watch though,
That's
not
true.
like a nerdy smartwatch. What did Mr. Wonderful told Marquez? These watches are all 20% off retail or something like that. He's not a big smartwatch fan.
But. Yeah, he said that when he walks into a room and someone's wearing an Apple Watch, it tells him that they're 20% off retail. Like whatever deal you're about to get, you can get for 20% cheaper because they're wearing an Apple Watch.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay.
Watch snobs don't love smartwatches.
Yeah,
I think it's the safe bet there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Exciting.
So you think we might see something about this possibly in May?
Yeah, I mean that's the rumor.
Whether
or not they're gonna do that,
I'll burn you at the stake if you don't.
Literally, that's just all it. That's the rumor. I'm just retelling.
No. Retelling. I think this is fun. We've had as much as we've talked about Pixel Watch, we've had twice as many opportunities because there are renders all the time. Like we've said, this is the closest thing we've gotten to actual feeling like it's there.
Seeing a thing actually in the wild is like, this is definitely coming up.
It also, and it just has that fun old tech news nostalgia feel of the iPhone being left at the bar. Like we don't get that very often. It's usually leaking themselves. So if this was planned out, it was brilliantly planned. And I'm all here
There was
for
a funny Reddit comment. Someone was like, oh, this was definitely left at a bar. And someone was like, isn't it weird that someone knew what it was? Like it seems like they would have left it and no one would have known what it was and they would have just like thrown it away or something. And then someone said like, this is probably the 25th one they've left in the bar. Just hoping that some nerd walks over and sees and knows what it is. Yeah, totally.
I'm excited for it. What the next thing will be able to fall out of Sundar's pocket while he's doing I/O. Maybe that's how we'll announce it.
Or he'll just be wearing it.
Yeah, just wear it.
That would
Don't
be a
say
flex.
anything. I could see Hiroshi doing that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Hiroshi was like Hiroshi was using a Galaxy Fold like during the period where where everyone needed to return theirs. He just kept using it.
He's the best.
Yeah, he's just been using a Fold forever.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So in a way, this is kind of giving me like Moto 360 vibes because in a way, the Moto 360 was sort of the original Pixel Watch.
The flat tire.
It was the first. Well, it wasn't the first Android Wear smartwatch because there was the LG G Watch that came out.
I had that. I loved it.
It was so ugly.
Really?
It was so ugly. It was like square and had huge bezels. But then the Moto 360 came out.
I remember.
And it had the flat tire, of course, but that was such an attractive smartwatch. It was so nice. I think I bought 10 of them.
Really?
Which, that was way back in the day when I was a poor college student and had no money.
That definitely tracks by 10
And I was like, I'm going to sell them to all my friends.
Oh.
So I like stayed up till 2 a.m. and like ordered a bunch and then sold them to all my friends. And we all just like were the only ones wearing smartwatches because it was like one of the first smartwatches.
You guys are probably the coolest kids on campus.
You could say that.
Yeah,
you could say that.
Yeah.
Thank you, people of the internet, for watching that clip. It was a great time.
It was a lot of fun. I actually heard if you hit the subscribe button under here, it guarantees that the Pixel Watch comes out in 2022.
Oh, is that
just a little rumor? The rumor got left at a bar, so I'm not totally sure how accurate it is.
Well, my friend his uncle works at Google.
Oh.
He told me that if you hit the like button, the Pixel Watch will have 4 more days of battery for every person that likes this video.
That's unheard of. Yeah,
but my friend's uncle works at Google, so he can
definitely works at Google.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you don't comment on this video, your friend's uncle will probably ban them from YouTube
forever.
But you can still watch the clips.
Oh yeah,
we've gone too far.
Only Waveform clips.
Only Waveform.
I'll be the only channel that you're subscribed to.
It doesn't sound that bad.
No, that's a great time.
But you should still comment, like, subscribe.
It's the only channel I'm subscribed to.
What about the regular podcast?
Nah.